All right, it is Thursday, and in my everything store here, I only sold 3 items. 2 of them should have never been sold because they should not have been listed. However, I made a critical error the other day, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But the first thing that's sold here we'll go over is from Fireball Island. It is a bridge. I think I called it a ladder in the last video. And a few people messaged me asking if it was 3D printed, and it's not. This is original. But if you guys that are into 3D printing out there, this might be something you want to look into. This one here sold for $18.99 plus shipping. The other 2 are from an espresso machine, and that espresso machine is the one I was rebuilding that I picked up at an estate sale. And the reason these are being sold separately is because even though I've got close to 10 years in working on espresso, coffee machine, stuff like that, I broke it. And not in a good way. So that really sucked because I wanted to use this machine. It's a really good machine. It's a grail machine, most people call it, because it's one of the best. It's been around since 1967. So that sucks, but good thing there's a lot of them out there. There's not a lot of parts on eBay. You can get them from some parts from a few different coffee suppliers and the original people that make the machine, but not on eBay. So hopefully I'm helping out a bunch of people into rebuilding their machine. I sold the shower head off of it the other day. I'll put that up here. I didn't put that in the video. So the main shower head I sold from that machine. And yesterday, was it yesterday, last night? I sold the measuring spoon. This is the measuring spoon for it. Doesn't look very fancy. However, it is the original spoon. And it went for $24.99 plus shipping. And the other piece that's sold is the handle. So this is an original handle for an Olympia Express Cremina 67. It is plastic. This piece here is 3.5 inches. And the replacements, I believe, are 4.5. So having the original, some people want that. This is also the same handle, if you unscrew it, that goes on the portafilter, which I haven't listed yet. It's soaking in some Caffeisa to get all the coffee oils and stains off of it. But the portafilter can go for over $100. So we'll still make some pretty good money on it. This one here did not take very long to sell, and it went for $45 plus shipping. All right, let's get into the ephemera. So let's log out of this store here. Okay, we've got 9 sheets of paper going out from the ephemera store. And I have changed how I list a little bit in terms of inventorying and whatnot. So we'll go over that later on in the video. But some of the ones that sold, this is the Tonopah Water and Power Company out of New York. It's like Broad Street in New York City. 1902. Their capital, $1.5 million, which is what, 50 plus million in today's money. So this one did not sit very long and it sold for $15.99. Free shipping. I have everything next day shipping on the store, as well as free returns, free shipping, free returns, next day shipping. So I get the top rated plus, I think it's called benefits, where you get 10% off your fees or something like that. This next piece, I listed this last night, or yesterday afternoon, and I think I should have asked a little more. It says Clucker Day at Tully. And it is something that talks about the Ku Klux Klan. So, a very interesting historical piece. I don't know what Clucker Day means. Any experts out there want to chime in? I'm sure there aren't very many of these floating around. I listed it at $25.99 with free shipping, and it sold the same day. The next piece that sold is going to a repeat buyer. And none of these are promoted, by the way. These are all non-promoted listings. I don't promote anything in the store unless it's really old. I haven't really set a time frame yet, but I'll eventually figure that out. The next one is the Wayne County Milling Company. I've got several of these floating around. This one's from 1901, and I have no idea what it says. However, it does mention looks like $75,000. 1901, you're doing pretty good with that kind of money. Smaller piece of paper here, and this went for $15.99. Free shipping. The next one is the Greenwich Bleachery from East Greenwich, Rhode Island. I think I have maybe 1 or 2 more of these also. It doesn't look like it's anything crazy. You can see right there, Greenwich Bleachery. This one went for $15.99, free shipping. I feel like I've said plus shipping in previous videos for these. That's not the case. These are all free shipping. The next one did not go to a repeat buyer, and I thought it would because the person that this person actually bought a bunch of my macaroni-related paper not that long ago, and I just listed this one. Actually, this one's been sitting for maybe a month, or a little less than a month. It is the Massaro Macaroni Company out of Fulton, New York, 1923. Not signed by anything, but it talks about coal and how it's going to be shipped. Really cool letterhead. This piece here went for $15.99, free shipping. The next one, E.L. Smith. Hay, potatoes, and farm produce. This is a long letter, and it's signed by E.L. Just says E.L. Smith, CO. So I'm not sure exactly who signed it, but it is a very long letter. And I've said this in previous videos. Whoever this person is that owned this coal company, people were not happy about it. And this is another letter that talks about them not being happy. Some people were very angry with their letters. But what I'm starting to do here, I should have done it in this one. I've started raising prices slightly and then taking some offers, but I don't love taking offers right away. But if it's something I only have one of and not a whole bunch, I'm pricing that a little bit higher. Only because I've only got a couple, one or two of them. But this one here, the 1917 E.L. Smith Hay Potato Farm Produce Business Letter, sold for $14 in free shipping. I have changed the way I ship these too, slightly, based on price. I'll get into that later in the video. This one is, so this person offered, they bought one at full price, which was $18.99, and then they offered $11.99 or $11.01 for the next one. They wanted to pay $30 with shipping included for both of these. And this is the office of the New Light Heat and Power Company, Newark, New York, 1901. And this one here, I actually have two of them. So these are the ones that are both going to the same buyer. Again, old, very old, and lots of money. Lots of money they're talking about for that time period. So those for the pair sold for $30 with free shipping. The last one's really cool. It's got a very interesting picture. Instead of having a big letterhead, the photo of the building is actually right in the middle. It's from the, boy, what is this? I can't read the writing. Let's see what the thing says here. The Witherhill. Is it Witherhill? Witherhill? I don't know. Someone tell me, because I can't read apparently today. That hotel. But look at that. Look how cool that is with the car in front of it. I wonder if that building is still standing today. Plattsburgh, New York, it very well could be. My gosh, I can't. Still learning how to read and talk. So that one went for $15.99, free shipping. That's all the pieces that have sold. So like I said, I am shipping these a little bit different, but I'm going to get these boxed up right now along with the rest of the stuff, ship it out. I got to go get a haircut because it's been over a month and it's going over my ears. It's driving me crazy. So I'm going to get a haircut and ship these out, and then I'll be back and we'll talk about more ephemera, how I'm shipping it, how I'm inventorying it, and how I'm, storing it in general. Everything is shipped out, got my haircut, and I found an estate sale. And this is all that I bought at that estate sale because the prices were crazy. Everything was at or above eBay, and well, you're not making any money if you're a dealer, but if you're a buyer, I guess that's okay. Back's pretty cool too. Some Beastie Boys in the back. The front's actually just looks like a young Billy Joel. It says official tour zine, price free. This was $2. The only thing I could buy there, and it's got a poster inside, a fold-out poster. What's this on the back? This is life-saving. Just like oh no, it's not. Oh my God. It is emergency life-saving techniques, but it's what you should and should not do in a mosh pit. It's pretty funny. This is from the mid-90s. And the poster inside, I haven't looked at it yet. It doesn't look like, there's a little tear right in the center. Boy, that's pretty cool. Hopefully that comes out on camera okay here. I don't want to create any more tears. Pretty cool. Well worth the $2, even if it doesn't sell, because that's kind of awesome. But there's one listing right now, and the seller's got 4 of these, and they're asking $75 or best offer, and there's 3 solds. Looks like so the one that sold, there's one that sold on auction for $15, one bid, and the other 2 buy it now $23.25. So I'll probably list it for $25-30, being that it's the only individual one available, and see what happens. But let's go check out how I'm storing ephemera and what I'm doing different. So this is where most of the ephemera is going to be stored from now on. These little banker's boxes, and these came from Staples. They're not the best ones in the world. They're kind of flimsy, but they were cheap. 5 of them for $14.99 on sale. And for whatever reason, I thought storing all of my ephemera in alphabetical order was a good idea. And it took me up until probably 2,000 listings, and I said, this is not going to work. It took me forever to put these things away alphabetically. So I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner, but someone named Steve commented in one of my videos, and this is basically how he does it. So thanks again, Steve. You made my life a lot easier. I typed all the letters out in a little label maker here, and they're not sticking, so that's not going to work. But what I'm doing is, because this is Banker's Box number 1, it's BB1. So my SKU starts with BB1 followed by the letter. So BB1A, BB1B, etc. And what I'm doing is I sell in 2 separate categories mainly, and that is ephemera 1920 to 39, 1900 to 20. So what I do in my spare time is I will separate the 1900 to 20s and the 1920 to 39s. And then when I'm ready to list, I will grab a stack of 50. I'll feed them through the scanner. And then when I upload them to List Easier, I set my listings, I have 50 of them going, and I set my SKU as BB1, and the next letter will say H. And then, so the first few I just did BB1, A, B, C, put in 50, 50, 50. Then I started using the incremental numbers after that. So each SKU will say, I'm starting with a new letter here, so we've got to fill up L. My SKU in List Easier is going to be BB1, L1, and then every sheet of paper that goes through every listing is going to be the next number. So L1, L2, L3, etc. And that has saved me a lot of time already, aside from, not having to alphabetize these when I'm putting them away. But now when I'm going to pull the orders, if I sell and I look at the SKU and it says BB1H30, I know that, roughly 30 sheets down in here is where that item's going to be. I can pull it out and get it shipped and be done with it. So huge time saver there. I can easily list 1,000 items a day, but I don't want to run out of this stuff. So I'm trying to spread my 1,000 listings out over the course of a month, because I don't want to flood the store too fast. I want to, gradually build up the inventory, because I'm also running out of ephemera. I've got one other stack probably about this high that I have to go through, and then that's it from this massive haul. So I'm still on the lookout for ephemera, but that's how I am doing it now for my listings, and I'll show you what I've changed in the shipping now, because that's another big thing. It was a small change, but it's making a huge difference. All right, lastly, let's talk about a shipping change that I made. So the ephemera store is going on 4 months now. 4 months for the new store, and I've shipped everything from day one with chipboard in a sealable bag here, and that would go in a Stay Flat mailer, pack worldwide here, with a little do not bend sticker on the front. And this package as a whole is about 4.2 ounces, which means I'm buying a 5-ounce label. And a 5-ounce label is high $5, sometimes over $6. A 4-ounce label is cheaper, anywhere from, I think, 30-something cents to, I think the last 5 orders that I sold, a 4-ounce label is 42 cents. So getting this to 4 ounces is saving me a lot of money. If you're saving 40 cents, so we'll say 37 cents on average or something, over 1,000 orders, it's going to add up. And I'm not just cheating. I'm not just saying, yeah, this is 4 ounces and it's 5, really 5. I've eliminated the chipboard in the back here. So I'm also saving the money with not using the chipboard. Now, I'm not doing this for every order. If it's a higher dollar item, I'm going to use the chipboard. If it's a very high dollar item, it's getting chipboard in the back and the front. But it's just a sheet of paper in plastic, and it actually, it goes into the mailer here easily, really easily, without bending, crinkling, or anything. I've been doing it for about a month, and I've had, only positive feedback about all the orders, well, everyone that sent positive feedback. No negatives at all about how I'm shipping this. So that's a good thing. We're saving money. People are still happy. So let me know how you feel about that. If you think I'm being too cheap on it or not. But if I charge for shipping, sure, I would add this into the cost and I'd ship it out that way. But I ship everything for free, so I'm looking to save some money, but still want the customer to get something nice. So before we end it, I'll show you something I found just yesterday. I found 2 of them in this pile of ephemera from the Hershey Chocolate Company. And unfortunately, it's not signed. It's a stamp of Ezra Hershey. It's Milton Hershey's cousin. We got 2 of these sheets of paper. Check out that letterhead. Really, really cool. I might keep one for myself. June 26, 1919. This is another one that falls under the coal and mining documents. The most complete chocolate and cocoa plant in the world. But that's going to be it for this video. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.